Faith, money, and business don't mix. Or do they? Stay tuned in this segment where we're going to have that real conversation.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
We are thrilled that we've been able to create for you free access to over 683 Life's Inside Track episodes, where we share insider tips, making house home, building wealth wisely through real estate, and you can get access to them. If you haven't subscribed yet, go to our YouTube channel, dekkerteam.com at YouTube, because you'll see some funnies. That's a backslash.
That's a forward slash?
Forward slash.
Dekker team?
Yeah.
Okay. YouTube/Dekker team.
That's the one.
Okay.
Okay. Suzanne's going to ask us some more questions. She's going to keep going until we ain't got nothing left to give.
That's right. We're going for the gusto. So I'm excited about this particular question because I think it's such an important discussion. So some would say that faith, business, and money don't mix.
Right.
Yet you guys have put that front and center and you've made it work exceptionally well. So talk a little bit about how you respond when you hear that those three don't mix.
Well, the first thought that comes to my mind is after the faith decision, all else is stewardship.
Oh, say more about that.
Well, stewardship is how you manage your money, is how you manage your family, is how you manage your business, is how you manage everything. And so once we've made our faith decision, which we did, started our journey just March 31st, 1991, everything else really has flown, I guess, has come out, flowed out of that. Even if I can't speak today, it has flowed out of that. Mm-hmm. And so money, business, and faith are three of the things that are talked about in the Bible more than anything else. So they're already connected before we even get started. There's more scriptures, over 2,300, about money or possessions or wealth, which in essence is business. So how can you separate them?
The Apostle Paul, what business was he in? Tent making.
Yeah.
What about the Proverbs 31 woman? What business was she in?
She liked real estate. She bought land.
Yeah, vineyard.
Yeah.
Exactly. Jesus picked his disciples. Who did he pick? Some of them were...
Fishermen?
Fishermen.
Yep.
They had a business of fishing. One of them had the business of tax collecting. Some of them were, what do they call them? A zealot? No, not a zealot.
Zealot.
Zealot. That's the word I'm looking for. He took people from all walks of life and said, let's do faith together. Mm. And some of them dropped their business, but others were in business and continued. We call it workplace ministry. It's a nice word for it, workplace ministry. It just means that we live out our faith in our workplace. And you can do that whether you own a business or whether you're just working for someone else.
And let's go back. There's a risk. It's not always going to be received well.
There's a risk.
It isn't always a fit. And not everybody has the luxury to do it because they're mandated not to do it.
Right. And, last weekend, we just came back from a great Band of Brothers boot camp. And at the Band of Brothers, it's a bunch of men that get together and they talk about real things. And, I invited several men from our office and some of them came. And so who knows what that does for their family, for their relationships, for their future relationships, for their relationship with God. I don't know. All I can be is a seed planter, right? Mm-hmm. And God, some are called to plant, some are called to harvest, some are called to water. And if you're in your business and, just another saying came up for me and it says, go out and witness to people and sometimes use words. And how we respond to people's hurts, how we respond to people's needs, how we support people through their journey, I think is super important. And when you have Christ with you, Christ in you, it's I don't know, there's a different level of compassion. I used to say I have like really no empathy. I used to have zero empathy for people. And now I'm so empathetic, it makes me cry sometimes.
I have witnessed that.
Well, he's on the edge now. Like, the eyes are all glassy. If you're not watching, you might want to.
Okay, you two stop.
So I want to go back to this whole concept of stewardship, because I think it's so key. And you know, there's a distinction between the love of money and being ruled by money.
Yes.
And being ruled by business for just profit, and being a great steward of money and being a great steward of your business, and using it to serve. And it sounds to me like what's guiding the two of you is this whole concept of, I want to be abundant because I am, and abundance will flow to me because we are great stewards of what we are given.
Right.
And also abundance flows because you serve. Am I catching that correctly?
Yeah, I would say yes. Go ahead.
Well,
because I can hear you talking out loud.
Because my body language is talking out loud. Sometimes we have abundance and sometimes we don't. And irrespective of whether that happens, you know, we were struggling in business for a while with our company. Our company was losing money and we were changing from the franchise we were in. And it was a very, very tumultuous time. And I remember the pastor coming and praying with us. And he said, you know what? As long as you're doing God's will, it doesn't matter if you lose everything. Because it's about doing what God's called you to do. And if you believe God's called you to run this business, and if he chooses that it loses all the money, it loses all the money. But you keep running it until he calls you out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. You went in a direction my brain wasn't in, and that's okay, because we're on this faith journey. Like when you're on a faith journey, you don't always know what lies ahead. You just know that you're doing the best with what you've been given at the time you're doing it.
And at the time you've been given it. Like
yes.
There's no timing in these things.
At the bottom core for me, it's doing the best with what we've been given. I mean, you've said it, Ken said it in a whole lot of different ways, but doing the best we know how with the guidance that we are given so that we can help others do likewise. Yeah.
Now, that being said, we've been abundantly blessed.
But I think there's a key to what you're also saying, because I think I know from my learn is abundant blessings are often due to non-attachment.
Oh, yes. You were talking about the love of money. So you can't be attached to it.
So I can flow. I am happy in wherever I am. And sometimes it's a season of abundance, and sometimes it's a season of not. But I think when I talk about abundance, it's not just the money, it's abundance in all these different things. And I think that all, what I see in you is that all comes together.
Yeah, it's fruit. There's fruit. When there's fruit, it's not necessarily money fruit, it's just fruit. And so, yeah. And that's one of the reasons we talk about building wealth wisely, because it's not just about the money. It's not just about, storehousing up a lot of stuff. It's about having a wealthy life.
So you're using wealth in this broader sense. One of them is what we talk about money, but you're talking wealth in family, wealth in relationships, wealth in free time.
Exactly.
So you're going to want to stay tuned for the last segment. This time flies. It's the most awkward time of my life, and yet we're thrilled that you stayed with us so that we can keep learning together, because when your options are clear, your wisdom will flow.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.